So hello and welcome back to Books and Things, and welcome back to Palliser Week. Today I'm going to be talking about the fourth novel in Anthony Trollope's Palliser series / parliamentary novels, and that is Phineas Redux. Chapter 1. Temptation. The circumstances of the general election of 18-something will be well remembered by all who take an interest in the political matters of the country. So, Phineas Redux is the fourth book in the Palliser series, and my least favourite book in the Palliser series. It is in fact my least favourite Anthony Trollope novel, and it's also one that is going to be very hard for me to talk about because while the Palliser series, the parliamentary novels, are a series of loosely interconnected novels, Phineas Redux is a direct sequel to Phineas Finn, the second book in the series, and I can't really talk about the premise of Phineas Redux without spoiling the end of Phineas Finn, so I'm just going to try and be vague because I want this to be a spoiler-free series review, and I can still tell you some of the things I did and didn't like about it. What I can say about this book is that this book follows Phineas Finn, who we followed in the second book, in his renewed parliamentary career, and things start to go a bit wrong for Phineas Finn over the course of the book due to various reasons. He kind of starts in a slightly difficult situation and things get sort of slowly more and more complicated and worse and worse. In terms of the things I like about this, as in Phineas Finn, Lady Laura is my favourite character in Phineas Redux, and I think her plotline and her characterisation is done brilliantly, and I love her and I think she's fantastic and I want her to be in more books. Again, I like Violet in this book, and I think she is done well. There's also a section in this book from like about halfway through to about 3/4 of the way through. The third quarter in Phineas Redux is fantastic. It's really, really dramatic, it's really engaging, there's a big plot point that happens that is very, very interesting, and the drama of that third quarter in this book is like worth reading the book for because it is really, really fantastically done and it's really, really brilliant. However, things I like less about this book. One is that I find it one of the slowest Trollope books that I have read. I would say the third quarter of the book is very exciting. It takes kind of half a book for much to happen at all, which is quite unusual in Trollope. Like, he does sometimes take a little bit of time to get going, but in general I find quite a lot of Trollope books very page-turnery, and Phineas Redux is not a page-turner until you get to the halfway mark. The first half of the book is very slow, in my opinion. Another thing that I don't like about Phineas Redux is that I don't want another book about Phineas Finn. Like, I liked Phineas Finn and I think he's good in Phineas Finn, but I like the ending of Phineas Finn and I like how Phineas Finn closes, and I felt that that was enough of Phineas as a character and I didn't need to see him come back, and I certainly didn't need another whole book about him. Of all the characters in the Palliser novels to have 2 books about, I would have much rather had another book about Alice from the first book. I just didn't want or need another book about Phineas, and I feel like nobody needed another book about Phineas. Not that I hate Phineas Redux or anything, like there are really good things about it and I know that plenty of people love it, but I feel like Anthony Trollope must have really liked Phineas as a character and just wanted to write about him some more, whereas like narratively it doesn't make sense to have a second book about Phineas Finn because of this way that Phineas Finn, the novel, finishes. Like, you don't need to have another book about Phineas. It wasn't needed, it wasn't required, and I don't like how Phineas Redux messes with Phineas Finn as a book and kind of spoils the narrative of that for me. Another thing I really struggle with in Phineas Redux is the ending, because I don't like the ending. I wasn't happy with it. It wasn't the ending that I wanted. There was an ending I really wanted, then there was an ending, like a second ending that I would have been happy with, and then there was a third ending that I didn't want, and that's the ending that happens. And I was surprised because Trollope is one of those authors where usually I can trust him to give me the ending I want, and there have been other books where there was an ending I was expecting that I didn't want, and then the ending I wanted happened and I was really happy, and then in Phineas Redux that just didn't happen, and I usually can trust Anthony Trollope to give me the plot I want, and I couldn't here, and it made me sad. And I have made my peace with the ending of Phineas Redux. I don't hate it, and having seen reflections on that in the 5th book in the series, The Prime Minister, I am perfectly happy with how that goes, but in Phineas Redux I found the ending really disappointing and it grated on me and it saddened me because that doesn't usually happen with Trollope. So yeah, Phineas Redux is not my favourite in the series, it is my least favourite Anthony Trollope book. I do still think there are many good things about it, and like I said, that kind of middle section that is really dramatic is really, really well done, and I've made my peace sort of with the ending, but I still don't love it. So there we go. that is all I think for now. Thank you very much for watching. Please let me know if you've read Phineas Redux down in the comments and what you thought of it. If you also didn't like the ending, do let me know. But also if you loved the ending, then tell me and I'll know that I am in a minority. And that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow to talk about the 5th book in the series, The Prime Minister.